Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by Built, Helix Butcher Box, and Game Time. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. I'm Nate Bargatze, Brian Bater, and Weber Dusty Slade.
All right.
Waited for it.
I like that. I like how you drag it out. You know, when I first
Yeah.
started comedy, that's what I used to do. I used to do that. I would say, my name's Dusty Slay. That would be a thing I would do. I don't know why.
On stage?
Yeah.
Because when people would ask your name?
Well, I would just come out and I would open up that
Yeah.
way. It was all part of
I'm
it.
Dusty Slay.
Yeah. I
Like
would
James Bond?
I'd give it a real pause. I
Does
would.
it get a little laugh?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the people really, for a little while, would know me as the Dusty Slay guy. Little
Yeah.
pause in between. It's a real thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Been trying to build a brand since the
Yeah.
beginning,
And that one didn't take off as much, so
Nah.
now we're having a good
Now
time.
we're having a good time. Now I took
Yeah.
just a normal everyday phrase and made it my own.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to invent a phrase, I go, I'll just take one of these.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what was first, the hand wave or the praise?
I think they came about at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you're having it. Yeah, kind of. What are you going to do? On stage, I think there's nothing. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good to be back, fellas.
It is good.
Here
Yeah.
it is.
Got the whole crew here.
We are back, living it up. We had a fun. Aaron was with me this weekend. We had a wonderful. It was a really good weekend. Really good time on the road.
Great shows.
Just everything kind of perfectly worked out. Weather was great in every single city. It was different cities. South Dakota, right?
Sioux Falls,
Sioux Falls.
Rockford, Illinois, Des Moines, and then Green Bay
Yeah.
last night.
I mean, crowds were unreal. It was just like a perfect kind of, one of those just weather that great in every city. Fun group. A lot of laughs. It was, I don't know. It was special. And the crowds are so great. And they're always great, but they were just, it's like, it's fun to go to the, Sioux Falls and, these places, Des Moines big. It's like they're not big cities, but, it's not your typical.
Yeah, Des Moines is big, but a lot of these people are not necessarily going there all the time, right?
Yeah.
So they're very thankful that you're there.
Yeah, and I've been to them a few times. It was just like a perfect kind of. We had Nick Thune, Graham K, Aaron, and then Joey McCullough is always with us, hosting the shows. Graham K, who you guys know, he had a bit of a rough weekend. Just taking a lot of heat.
What
A
happened?
lot of heat. Well, this is all of us. The great thing too. It's like all of us together. It's like, outside of Aaron, which Aaron fit in very well with us. It was, it's guys I've been around for a long time, started with. So if you're around us, we're a very joking and mean to each other the whole time. But there could be there's the most love between all of us. None of us would do it, but it's super, super fun.
You've known Graham for what, 20 years or something?
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy?
all of them. I know, yeah, Graham, Julian, and Thune, So it's super fun and just, it's like we're back into like the old New York days where you're just trashing each other. And I mean, anybody walks in a room, Aaron got it a good bit. You just walk in doing really nothing. And it's just, yeah. And everybody just jumps all over you. And then once one jumps on, it's not like someone defends. Everybody just goes, all right, I guess we're doing that guy now. So then we all just go after that guy. and then you go after. I mean, it's the best. It's true fun.
Well, it started with ESPN did a write up about Nate's show in Sioux Falls, and here's the paragraph that got mentioned a lot. The night was hosted by Julia McCullough and featured awesome openers such as Nick Thune, Aaron Weber, and others.
Yeah.
So that started us off, and so Graham would have never seen that if I wouldn't have screenshotted it and texted it to everybody.
Yeah.
And then so we got it going. And then there's a text thread, and I mean it was like we got that. It was very great. It was so we called them the others. And the funny thing about that is Nick Thune also said Graham K's name at the end. So Graham K went up, and when Thune got done, he goes, "All right, I'm Graham K." So Graham's name was said twice. And, this guy did nothing wrong, but, made us have fun.
Yeah.
And so Graham was up, and Graham just, he's just such a funny, he's so funny when he something like this happens to him. He's like, "Oh, Grandma gets it again."
Show business. Gets me again. Yeah.
One more time. And Graham murders all weekend. So that started it. And then what was that? Then after that, then we went to where we were in the Canaries. Was the Canaries after that?
Right. Yeah. That night. That was in Sioux Falls.
In Sioux Falls, we go. There's a minor league baseball team called the Canaries. And so we go. The show's great. We ride scooters around, the parking lot because it was very nice outside. And they're like having their opening day is the next day. So their park was everybody works there till 4 a.m. setting everything up. And I mean, we look like lunatics riding scooters around. It's a lot to take in for a town just to see, 4, 40-year-old. I mean, Aaron, he's not 40, but he might as well
He
be
could be 40.
when he's with us.
Yeah.
And just cruising in scooters, circling the ballpark. I mean, they're like, we don't know what's going on.
What time of day is this?
Midnight.
Wow. Okay. So they think you guys could be up to something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so then we, Grandma saved the day, actually. We never brought this up to Graham.
This is a moment of redemption.
This is a moment of redemption. Graham went up and talked to the guy, and then the guy knew we were doing the show and let us in, and then we all came in there and sat with all the crew. It's just guys working there. They every year they're out there till 4 a.m, and so they all came in, and we just sat in the bleachers, and we just made fun of each other again, told story,
hung out with them. It was almost like a little show. Y'all were killing for the crew.
Yeah, it was great. We had some good laughs with all them, and it was just a fun hang out of the middle of nowhere. We're just riding around. They were like, "Wonder what's going on there." And the next thing you know, we're just sitting in the bleachers over there. And so they took a big group picture with them. We sat in these chairs, and they took a picture. And it was just super fun. It was just a fun, just a lot of stuff that just worked out.
Yeah.
Where it was really fun. And so then Rockford was Rockford's great. We walked around.
Mm-hmm.
Graham bought a Peaches shirt because the Rockford Peaches.
Remember from a league of their own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And from a cool place. But so the shoulder, I don't know if we have a picture of this because we didn't, but the shoulder that comes down, if you're listening, in your shirt where the sleeve and the shoulder are sewn together, it was almost to his elbow.
He bought too big of a shirt.
He didn't buy too big of a shirt.
He's
it was
so
just
tall.
made,
It's they didn't know he would be shaped that way, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, so he needs an extra large, but he's height wise an extra large, but width wise a large. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Graham's an in shape guy.
Yeah.
But it was just very funny. And so then we just talked about that for a good time. So and Rockford was one of the light days for Graham, but we still were able to get him. And then Saturday in Des Moines, we go, and randomly John Christ is in town as we are in Des Moines. So we're like, all right, we should meet up. And first we were going to try to golf, and then it just was a little complicated. And then it was like, hey, what if we just go get they reached out to Roosevelt High School, Theodore Roosevelt High School in Des Moines, and the baseball coach there very kindly was like, "Yeah, I'll come up and I'll open the field." And so we got a baseball. That guy had a baseball bat. We bought some tennis balls, no gloves, and just played 5-on-5.
Well, Aaron has a glove there.
Well, we let the pitcher was allowed to have a glove.
Feels like Aaron just always has it.
Yeah.
Yes, Aaron does.
I got one in my car most of the time.
Aaron looks like a guy that's going to get a foul ball.
Yeah.
Like he's like whatever. You just see him and you go, I bet that guy's got some foul balls from
Yeah,
baseball.
he's not
games."
giving it to a kid.
And you don't even,
No.
And if he's at a nice restaurant, if he's at a wedding in a tuxedo, you go, I bet that guy's. If they go pick someone that's had the most foul balls at a baseball game, you're like, well, I think it's that guy right there.
Yeah.
His gloves in the trunk, and so we get together. We play. I mean, an epic game of Derek Stroop out with us. Graham K. Again, Graham either.
Derek Strip on both teams.
Yeah. Well, yeah. With Aaron and because they look the same.
No,
because he's been on both tours.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had two people from ours. John had three. Caleb Elliott. But besides Stroop, I mean, this is a big Nateland podcast heavy group. And so, I mean, we were out there, dude, and we're beaten up. Here's Graham running, if you didn't see it. Travis was a pitcher for a little bit. I mean, Graham. So if you can see the picture, Graham is running his hardest to score a run. This run does not count, but we did not tell him that.
You didn't tell him to stop running.
We were doing a 5-run rule, so we're not just staying out there. And they already had their 5-run rule, but we saw how excited Graham was to keep going, that we all kind of agreed to let him run it all out.
Does he run with his hands open like that?
Oh, yeah. He runs. I mean, he's giving it all. Graham had hip replacement surgery not too long ago. So he's on it right there. And
he's got my face when I was running.
Yeah. It's terrific. And Graham had a home run. That was positive. He had a home run, but also 3 strikeouts and a strikeout to lose the game. So, it's a give and take.
Ups and downs.
It's ups and downs with Graham O. And so then that was Des Moines.
Yeah, that was
right.
Des Moines.
And then
well, that was the night. So that night we went and saw a movie.
Oh, so that was the same night.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we do that. So yeah, everybody was the game was, I tell you what, you want to have a fun game, get your friends 5-on-5, no gloves, tennis ball, metal bat. It's a good time.
Just old men. We're all falling apart.
Oh.
Everybody's sore. Everybody's injured. I've never felt less athletic. I've never felt more old.
We're going to have some clips probably on my Instagram and probably our YouTube page.
Mike filmed this whole game.
Yeah.
He's cutting together some highlights from it.
We got some good stuff. We got some Thune got a home run with Aaron in front of him, and we'll let you watch that. That was a really good time.
Yeah.
That was a really, really probably brought a lot of memories back to Aaron.
Oh, he almost passed him?
Yeah. He had to start walking.
He had
so he didn't pass me.
We were yelling for it's where you're not even yelling for the guy that has the hit of the home run. You're yelling for the kid in front of him.
Yeah.
Because you're like, go. And everybody's more excited about that guy crossing home than even the person that hit it. So yeah, it was super fun. Chris, it ended up being 11-9 was the final score.
Barn burner.
We won. Aaron, we brought Aaron in as the closer. Struck out Graham-O.
All right, you got a strikeout, huh?
Yeah.
He had 2 strikeouts.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a
You're
shutdown closer.
Throwing heat?
I came in like Mariano Rivera. No, you're it's kind of soft pitch.
Okay.
The way we're.
I wanted to pitch, but I could looking at Aaron's eyes. I knew
he never had
he
the
couldn't handle if a ball. I mean, it was. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I would like to pitch, and then I looked at Aaron, and he looked at me with just, hey, why don't you let me just pitch, so I don't have to,
So I don't have to move.
It was a nod to that. It was kind of a nod where I go, respect. Like when you go, all right, Aaron's pitching. You just yell it out.
So let me ask this though. You're doing slow pitch, and people were striking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you strike out?
Yeah. No. but I've missed. I had a lot of strikes.
So you didn't strike
There were a
out.
lot of whiffs,
No.
but we were making
struck out
contact when
softball
it
before.
counted.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's funny is like with baseball, swinging with with golf, it's like it comes at a different angle. It's like my hand-eye coordination is just, it used to be good for baseball, but I haven't done it in 30 years. So it's terrible.
But you didn't strike out though.
No.
See, that's what shocked. I can see missing it, but
Oh yeah. We had a few more strikeouts than you think. It's easier than you think for there to be a strikeout.
but as long as you have a control
Yeah.
in this whole thing, where you're like, you do have one guy at least that never struck out, so it was possible.
It was possible.
and yet,
I mean, there was a lot of people that didn't strike out,
Yeah.
but a lot of people did strike out. And then,
Some-
for
some
someone who's
twice, at
watching
least.
this game from a distance, it looks like slow motion is.
Mhm.
I mean, someone would be like, their brain would feel weird.
Some
'cause-
kids from the high school team were in the batting cage, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they were like, "What is going on over there?"
Oh, just.
their parents
Yeah.
didn't come out and shake their heads at you, did they?
I mean, if a ball got a little bit behind you, lot of underrun pop flies.
yeah,
I mean, none of them is underrun right over. Yeah, they ran
yeah, they didn't
Like
really.
Ran
it
in
went,
too far?
If they went over their head,
The ball's hit, and just for whatever reason, all of our instincts are to run forward. So
Yeah.
it's
Like a little
all
kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
and then it's just and within 2 seconds you see someone just go. You're like, you see them take 4 steps forward, then you're like, that ball's miles over
Yeah.
their head.
Yeah.
And then they got to take off running backwards.
This is what I learned. The kids in my neighborhood
swing.
will play with aluminum bats and tennis balls.
hmm
And what I've learned is you go out there and you're like, I'm about to show these kids, and you want to crush it. That's when you're missing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you're just like, I'm just going to hit the ball,
Yeah.
then you do kind of crush
Let's
it.
make contact
Yeah.
and let that ball do the work.
And I
Yeah.
feel like if you strike out one time, then you got something to prove. And now you're going to mess up.
One thing that we learned that we messed up on is we should have asked for a softball field or a little league field.
Mhm.
We were playing on a regular baseball field with the bases, and so that's a decent run. This was one of the most fun things I've done on the road, though.
Yeah.
It was just a very, very, because it was beautiful.
Mhm.
It was an exercise, just a very fun day of just a bunch of idiots that felt it. Travis, all-time pitcher, somehow rolled his ankle,
Oh, God.
and just in the middle of the game left. I didn't really know what happened, but Travis, all-time pitcher, not moving much,
Mhm.
and
He didn't move more than a 5-foot radius from the pitcher's mound, and the one time he did, he completely sprained his.
I mean, a tennis ball. Like that night in Des Moines, he had to put his knee in a rolling chair and scoot.
Mm.
Couldn't even put weight on it.
That's why I don't like to do things like that. I've had that happen to me where it's like you're just trying to play a little sports, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, I got to call in sick to work today.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And then, but no one else got hurt. So it's like your strikeout rule.
Yeah.
So it was great. And then, so that night, we're like, all right, let's go see a movie. And so we're going. So it was just like everybody was in the kind of the mood for a movie. There was a movie starting at 10:30. The Strangers. It's like kind of a scary movie. And so we're like, all right, well, let's go drive to there. And, so another one, Grandmo, we sat in the car, waited for Graham. We were all in a green room together. And we go, all right, let's go see a movie. And Graham took that as like, I'm going to go eat and I'll just wait. And so we're out, just sitting in the car. And then Graham's just eating.
Long enough that we had to change movie theaters.
We had to change movie theaters because we found there was a 10:25. We had to go to a 10:30 because we're like, he's not. What is he doing? So then he gets in and then watched the movie, had a fun time, and then afterwards we're like, you know what? Looking for food. There's a Pizza Hut open till 2 a.m.
Wow.
So we go to the Pizza Hut. We're parking in the parking lot, and Graham, being a good dude, is like, I'm gonna pay for this pizza.
Very nice.
Very nice. So he goes, I'm going to pay for it. So he goes in, we get, we were like one large pepperoni, one medium cheese, bunch of dudes. Like that'll be good. Cause not everybody was eating. Not everybody's got a problem. And so he goes in and gets it. Then he comes back and we're like, oh yeah, what'd you get? He's like, oh yeah, and then as a joke, Julian goes, you didn't get thin crust, right? And he goes, what? Yeah, I did. And we're like, no, you didn't get thin crust, dude. Come on. What are you messing around? He goes, no, I got thin crust. We're like, so then he gets thin crust. And he goes, we're like, why didn't you just go in and go, I want the normal.
Yeah.
Just be like, I want a pepperoni, cheese. What is your main pizza? What's your thing that you do?
You got to understand, Graham's Canadian, has never had Pizza Hut. He thinks the two types of pizzas are a Chicago-style deep dish, and then a regular pizza is thin.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Canada has Pizza Hut. I think you're giving him too much credit here.
He said he's
also healthy, so he probably just eats thin pizza.
No, well, but isn't that thin crust is not that's like you got to ask for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not a normal.
You want a traditional, it's called like traditional.
You do
crust.
have to ask for it. Yeah. I mean, I think the standard is a thicker crust.
And I mean, man, we were excited about this pizza, and then he comes in, and then he's like, "No, I got a thin crust," and we're like, "Oh my gosh, dude, are you kidding me?" And then
it's like a saltine cracker.
We're just eating like pepperoni on a cracker. Like, I guess we still did it, but it wasn't what we wanted. And then he comes back with drinks, brings Starries.
Because I got everybody a Starry.
A Starry.
You know what it is?
It's like the new 7-Up or something.
I use Sierra Mist or something.
Sierra Mist
one of those. It's now just called Starry.
It's called Starry. It's on commercial. It's just a very weird drink.
Yeah.
To be like, I got everybody Starry.
To assume everybody is down with a Starry. Yeah. A Coke, you go with a classic Coke.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's like.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably some Cokes, some Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
And then you probably got everybody covered.
Get yourself a Starry if you want.
You come back maybe with one Starry. I got one Starry.
Yeah.
Just in case someone wants a Starry. If they want to try a Starry. But he got 6 Starries. So because now we have weird drinks, pizza we didn't want. But we love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
it was Green Bay was anything or
No,
I don't think so.
I
think Green Bay
just a great show.
Great show. I think he made it through Green Bay unscathed. And so, but it was a fun. But the thin crust, we were like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, well, I didn't know what it was. And you're like, what do you think it is?
Mm-hmm.
Thin crust is,
I'm going to be honest. I can't believe that he doesn't know what thin crust is.
It's kind of in the name.
Yeah, I can't accept it.
You don't think being Canadian's a defense?
I mean, Hannah talks about going to Home Depot or Pizza Hut all the time. I got some stuff going on with the Home Depot. It's on my mind. But I mean, she talks about going to Pizza Hut all the time.
Yeah.
She's upset that now Pizza Hut's in strip malls and it's not a Hut anymore.
Yes. Yeah, that was great when it was a Hut. I mean, I mean, if you could see, we were like, nah, you didn't get that. Like, it's almost like, I don't even know if you would have to do that on purpose. You can't even really accidentally order thin crust. I don't think they want to give it to you. I think Pizza Hut knows
it might be extra work for them to do a thin crust.
Well, they know it's not their main thing. That's not their muscle, bread
and butter.
Yeah. Their muscle memory is to grab a pan pizza, traditional. And, it's not, I mean, just looking at them. And, and that's, that's what I love about hanging out with your buddies. Even when someone's doing something very nice as buying the whole car, food and drinks, we just...
Nate was relentless, too.
Yeah.
He did not let him forget it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Look, before you think I'm just mean, I love Graham more than anybody in a million years. Me and him have done a lot of fun stuff together, and I've taken some heat from it, too. But that's what makes it fun. So, all in all, what a wonderful...
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, Nate's also breaking attendance records at all these arenas that we're at. So in the midst of all that, the shows are unreal. They're unreal.
The shows are great.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
All right.
I was on the road this weekend with Angela Johnson. We were in Oklahoma. We did 2 casinos there and did a casino Friday night. Then Saturday drove across Oklahoma to a second casino. Had a ton of fun. Great shows.
Oh, yeah.
Angela's great. And
Nateland alum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is a Nateland alum. She just had a birthday along with Dusty. I always bring up they're 4 days apart, I think, in age. And then their kids are 4 days apart.
Oh,
wow.
That's cool.
So anyway.
What, did you do any gambling when you were out there?
I didn't.
I'd like to see you sit down at a blackjack table, just some high rollers
You
table.
sit down with us.
Mm-hmm.
Blackjack Bates.
Yeah. Yep.
Big money Bates.
Yeah.
I'm much more comfortable on like a 25-cent slot machine.
Okay.
Blackjack I used to be comfortable with when I thought I'm only affecting myself. And then when I learned, no, you do affect other people by the decisions you make. I'm scared. I don't want to do this.
Trying to send your daughter to college.
What'd you play with us? But you played blackjack with us?
I did, but I would always ask if I had a simplest question I would ask.
Yeah. But we would get a table, like, you have enough guys that you can get a table with just us. So then you're like, no one really cares. It's like, and you just ask. You do that even if you're at another table, you just ask. But I agree. I don't really like playing with people I don't know because I'm afraid that I'm going to do something too.
Yeah, they go, you're messing up the cards or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to have fun.
I mean, you can see it happen. I know you're trying to have fun, but it is a funny thing because it's like you can see someone not do something, and then the card and you're like, if you had just done what the book you're supposed to do, the whole table would have won.
Yeah,
and then because you didn't. But I mean, it could happen the other way too. So
yeah, that's all part of the gambling experience. Those people are gambling that there's going to be people sitting at the table that know what they're doing. I'm like, hey, you have a wild card in here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I'll hit on 19.
Yeah, you're gambling, and that ain't, that's not my problem. You're gambling your child's tuition in here. I'm just betting $20.
Yeah, I don't even know your kid.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with me.
I mean, I watched Nick Novicki split kings. So
did he really?
Yeah. I mean, it was just us, but he split. He goes, Nick, I'll split them.
Probably couldn't see his cards.
Yeah, like, all right, here we go. And then,
we played a couple weeks ago in New Mexico, and they had a comedy club in the casino. And we're like, let's go take a look at this. And got a little tour of it.
Yeah,
found out Dusty's coming there, and Dusty's checked out. Anyway, Dusty's
I'm
coming
sorry,
there.
guys. I have had a lot of problems with Home Depot delivering a refrigerator to me, and I have to.
Doing a stop for a second?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what. While you're doing that,
I know all about that.
If you have to make an angry call to Home Depot, I would like to hear that.
Well, they did. I'm sorry. They delivered me a refrigerator, and then it would not work. And then they had made me get the GE repairman to come out, and then he was like, "Oh, they broke it when they delivered it." And so now they're bringing me a new refrigerator, but they give you this ridiculous time window. Yeah, we're going to come between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you can't really narrow it down. And then I called today and they're like, oh, yeah, between 3:30 and 7:30 is when we're going to come. They're like, good thing you called. When we're doing an exchange like this, we don't call you. And I go, oh, okay, well, that sounds helpful.
Yeah.
So Home Depot's the worst. And so now I'm ordering a lawnmower from Lowe's. So we got a lot going on.
Just to get back at Home Depot?
Yeah, we'll never order from Home Depot again.
Are you going to let Home Depot know that you're a Lowe's guy now?
I've already let them know a few times.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything. They have, at the end of every call, they have a survey. And I answered that the people I talked to did great, but the company as a whole was a terrible company. And I go, I realize you don't care about me or any of your employees, but I am very unhappy with how you've treated me.
Yeah, I think Laura's a Home Depot. She likes Home Depot.
You used to have a joke where you kind of butchered them, so maybe they're getting back at you.
Well,
maybe they know.
Honestly, I've always been a Lowe's guy.
But you used to work at Home Depot.
Well, I used to sell pesticides, so I would go to Lowe's and Home Depot. It was just in the joke. I said I worked at Home Depot because it's easier than going. I used to sell pesticides in Home Depot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what was the Home Depot joke? You can do it.
Well,
we can
I don't
help.
know if I can do it. On
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, it's not dirty, but it's
just
not really.
a little dark.
Yeah.
It's a little dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not
Well,
a fan.
anyway, a couple weeks ago, we were in New Mexico at a casino, and we toured a club that you're going to be performing at soon.
Yeah.
So,
Albuquerque. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, you were saying that it was like a new club, but I perform, it's the Star Casino, right?
I think they've revamped it. It looked
Yeah.
new, didn't it?
As I opened for the people at the Super Troopers guys there years ago. And that's why I wanted to go back. I like going back to a club that I featured in. I like to go back as the headliner.
Yeah.
Helps me feel like I conquered the club.
Oh yeah.
And
Let
then
'em know.
Yeah.
have whoever you open for the
Yeah.
next time you're there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that with Home Depot somehow?
Somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Go back and let them know.
Yeah, I made a joke on my Instagram in front of a Lowe's the other day, and I tried to get Lowe's to collaborate with me. I invited them to collaborate.
Yeah.
You're just driving to Lowe's parking lots to try to get them on board.
They didn't accept it, but
You actually invited them as a collaborator.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they didn't do it, but
Yeah.
next time.
Where were you this weekend?
I went to Lafayette, Louisiana to Club 337. Great club, a lot of fun. I like Lafayette. I went to a Greek place and had a Philly cheese, but with steak and lamb in it. Really great. And 2 shows, really great. Late show, very rowdy. I'm getting a lot of late show rowdy crowds. They're into it, but they're just so rowdy.
Are they
It's
your
fun.
people?
I think so. And they're into it. And then I went to Dallas, Texas, and did the Texas Theater, 2 shows, sold out both shows, and
Yes,
they were
sir.
great. And then I had like a bunch of Mexican food right before my first show, 2 hours before. I was like, I'll be fine. But they had these like real fluffy tortillas that they were like homemade there at the place, and I was tearing it up.
Yeah.
Thin crust?
And then it was a thick crust. And it
Probably
just
was thicker than the pizza we got.
I was so miserable starting my first show, but it was a hot show.
Have you ever had to use the
it
bathroom
was
on
my
stage? Oh, happy birthday.
On Saturday, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
So I was doing shows and people were yelling happy birthday, which was nice. But the second show, people were like doing it as a heckle. Like, like midway through the show, people were just like, happy birthday. And I'm like, yeah. We've already done that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now just be quiet. My birthday present is for you to not yell that out.
Is that what you said to him?
Nah, but I did tell him to stop doing it.
Yeah. Meaner.
Yeah,
than that.
meaner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been able to get meaner on stage now, and I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was in such a nice comedy mode that it felt like if I ever had to shut a heckler down in any way, that it felt like it took me out of character. And now I feel like I've really, been able to come out of that, where my comedy is still nice, but like, I don't know, maybe even doing this podcast where people have
You
attacked
become
me so much.
combative a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
and
you're fine with getting combative.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you got a little bit of that in you to
Mhm.
do the Home Depot thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
You are naturally want to kind of confront and have confrontation.
So
Not
it's-
that you want it, but you're
but yeah, it's like it's been fun. Like the Troubadour, like when I did that, and I had a late show that was real rowdy, and a guy yelled out something about minimum wage, and I felt like I really went in on the guy,
yeah.
but didn't tank the show.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's awesome.
I was like, that's what I'm
That's
talking
good.
about. Because I have a joke. I was like, the joke is like that the guy got tips, but it was not a lot of tips. And he goes, that's less than the minimum wage here. And I'm like, well, I don't remember what I said, but I really hammered the guy because I was like, no one needs to know that. No one in
Yeah.
here. And the joke is that he didn't get a lot of tips. I don't need you to throw economics into the mix here.
Mhm.
What are you even yelling that out for? Am
Yeah.
I applying for a job? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I love it.
Well, if you make minimum wage, you probably rent, and that means you need built.
All right.
There you
This
go.
show is brought to you by Built Rewards. At some point, we've all felt that paying rent is kind of like setting your money on fire. We do not have the opportunity to build credit, and our rent payments don't work towards a future down payment on a home. Well, I'm here to tell you that Built Rewards has figured out a way to do all of that and make rent more rewarding. They've launched Built MasterCard, which lets you pay your rent and earn points without the transaction fee. Even if your landlord only takes checks, Built will mail one for you. You can then use those earned points towards hotels or flights, towards future rent payments, and even towards a down payment on a home. The Built MasterCard is the first card to offer points on rent with no transaction fee. To get rewarded for your largest expense seems like a no-brainer to me. Check it out. Earning points on your biggest expense with the Built card just makes sense. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/Nate. That's joinbilt.com/Nate. And make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/Nate to start earning points with your rent payments today. Terms apply.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that your landlord only accepts checks, though.
That's how mine was,
Is
man.
Yeah, mine was when I rented. But I mean, that's when people did check.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've got checks from like 5 addresses ago. That's how.
I think it's all. I bet it's all Venmo now or something.
It's a lot of Venmo now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't Venmo a ton. I do it like golfing, like when you're playing, with buddies. But that's about all I do Venmo. But I think it's a younger. I mean, people are. I think it's like young people. And there's probably young people that really, really do not have really never had cash.
No, it changed the way like you are in public. You're at a bar with friends. I'll get around. Yeah, I'll Venmo you. Yeah. Everything's on Venmo now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, now you can't just owe people money.
That
you
is
know what
true.
I mean? Now they're like, no, yeah, I know you got access to your.
Well, they request it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can request money from people,
and then you're starting to be able to do like the checks. You're able to. I'm trying to move the seat. So there it goes. So you're able to move split checks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or like being like, all right, you can request all this money and you can really split some checks up. I come from a I always hated splitting checks where you want to just be like, I just want to, you're like, let me pay for it and like be done.
Didn't have to worry about.
I mean, I never could. I never could do that ever. But I remember that just was. I wanted that to be one of the.
When I waited
to goals to be like
when the split checks get down so little to where like even couples are like, where it's like everybody's splitting the check. It's like you can't pay for somebody's here.
When I waited tables, I hated that. Dude.
Yeah.
When it'd be like 6 people and they all give me a credit card and they go split it 6 ways. And you're like, God, dude, just one of y'all step up.
Yeah.
And make it easier for me.
Or just pay for your own stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like if you split it.
But that's the same thing.
Right. I don't know. For me, it was easy.
If they do is split it down the middle. I mean, they started making stuff, I guess, easier on the screens to do that.
But even it's annoying. You got to go 1/6 that. I hated it.
Yeah.
You really, there's nothing better than when you go, and I mean, now knowing, like when we're on the road and you see we have 10 guys and you can just see them. They're like, please don't say. And we get to go just one check. And then you learn that they like the big table.
Sure.
You don't mind a big table once you know it's one check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you want to look at the table as a waiter and go, one of y'all be a man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just step up. Dude.
Yeah. Just pay for it.
Figure it out later.
Be a dude, figure it out later, or just say, I got it.
Don't make me be a banker,
Yeah.
I'm bad with names, and like at Zany's, I don't have cash, and they'll bring me food and stuff, and then I'll be like, well, can I Venmo you? And they're like, yeah. And then I realize I should know this person's name, but I don't.
Oh, yeah.
So then I'm like.
But that's an easy out. You go, what's your Venmo handle?
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to know their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your Venmo?
Nobody expects you to remember their Venmo username.
They should almost, but now people will like have tags or something. You take a picture of it and it goes to it, right?
Yeah. QR codes and stuff.
Yeah. And if you go, what's your Venmo? And they go, my name, then they don't really want the money. You know what I mean? Right? Just tell me what it is.
Yeah.
They'll make it hard.
How do you spell it? TOM.
Yeah.
Venmo's. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah. It's that is a new wave.
That's very funny. I told Leanne Morgan that we mentioned her a couple weeks ago on the podcast. I think it was the week you were gone, but she said, I want to listen to it on the plane. And then when she got to her destination, she said it was a short flight. Can you just tell me where it is in the podcast? It was the very first thing off the top that we talked about. So it was clear she didn't listen to it all.
Right.
Just tell me where it's at. I gave her a hard time about it.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear it all. Well, we started.
It's
with
the
it.
first thing we said.
Yeah.
I love that though.
She's being nice.
She's like, I started in the middle. Sorry,
Yeah.
I missed it.
Well, yeah, you would just go. I mean, I would never listen.
Yeah.
To it. It is like, you could have just told her where it was. That's I've had that. If someone send you something, and they're like, they mentioned this, and you're like, well, where?
Where at? Yeah,
where at?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds, but it's just being, you're just trying to.
Well, I
be
followed
nice
up with
to
her
me.
because then on your podcast, you and Hannah talked about Leanne and stuff happened in the green room and everything. So I texted her. I said, well, now Dusty and Hannah are talking about her. It's at the 53-minute mark. And she
All
said,
right, there you
appreciate
go.
it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
yeah.
At least you made her feel bad. And takes a stray. She has no reason to be involved in any of it. Just
Well, no, she brought that on herself. I mean, it's not like I was trying to goad her into it, but then she's like, hey, didn't have to. It's right off the top.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's fine. What was it? Oh, you know what I do love though? I love seeing when I remember just being younger and like where you would have to split stuff. You're like, dude, I need you owe $23.25.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever. And so I like seeing when like kids or teenagers, like with them splitting money or something like that. They're like, I don't know, there's something that's still like it's it's like, the world's not changed that much. It's like you're still just like, no, I have, and no one expects anybody when you're young. No one expects anybody to be splitting. I mean, you expect to be splitting a check. Nobody has money. They're young.
Mm-hmm.
So I still like seeing that's always like kind of heartwarming.
When I would go on the road with comics, like when we were all like, equal billing, we're like all the money we make, we're splitting. And then you go to the restaurant and people and like comics will try to act like, oh, you just pay for this one. And I'm like, nah, we're splitting it every time. If we're splitting the money we're making, then we're splitting the money we're spending. We're not, I don't want to be like, oh, I owe you $5 for this.
Yeah.
Because if we're just friends hanging out, that's one thing. But if we're like, this is a money-making venture we're doing here. I'm not losing money at lunch.
I remember Dusty keeping track of the gas money on a little notepad.
Yeah.
And then we'll go divide that by 2 at the end.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to do this equally.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I've reached a level where I don't have to nickel and dime people for gas. But there is a time where you're like, the gas money is, that's a part of this trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I always got stuck paying gas. I never liked it. I just never really liked talking about money. Like either whether I just want, that was like always, I was just dreamed of being a headliner and just being like, I got it. I'll take care of it, because you can't at the beginning. But
yeah, I mean, when you're,
I bet you're a fun time to go on the road with.
well, it's like,
you get a bill from you. You're like,
I'll just send an invoice later.
Yeah, you're like, when was this from?
yeah. But yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like when you're headlining some of these gigs out here, I mean, there is not a lot of money involved.
I know what you mean. I'm joking, but it's yes. There's a lot of times, and then there's certain guys that get to it. Being a New York comic. A lot of New York comics. I mean, some of them don't have license. They don't drive. They don't contemplate what gas could ever cost because they're never in a car.
Yeah,
and so when you were doing it, and you're just dealing with someone that's like, oh yeah, well. It's not even on their mind that you have to pay for gas.
Yeah.
Because they don't ever pay for gas.
Right.
So, yes, I understand.
But now, thankfully, I don't have to nickel and dime people for gas.
Yeah.
But
you quarter and dollar them.
But I would do it. I would be like, yeah, I'll drive. And then that way you don't have to pay all the gas, but you're going to be in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sandy Theed, starting you guys' comments. Theed. Super great 200th episode. Loved it. All of you guys being there together is perfection for me to watch. Aaron has the best laugh, though. Every time he laughs, it makes me laugh. Hope none of you get tired of doing this podcast. Please keep the longer episodes, too. All
That's
right,
nice.
we'll go on
Thank you,
to
Sam.
We'll just
45 minutes this time.
yeah.
Wrapping it up.
She's like, I really enjoy it. Keep working.
Yeah. Tommy Feller. That's a good last name.
That is a good
Yeah,
one.
that's fun.
That's a good name. Tommy
Old
Feller.
Tommy Feller.
Oh, Tommy Feller. Like that's
Yeah.
he runs everybody knows Tommy
Yeah.
Feller.
Oh yeah.
You mean that Tommy
Everybody
Feller?
Yeah. They go, oh,
Yeah.
they go, yeah. You know the
Yeah.
Feller. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows them. As a viewer of all 200 episodes, I've noticed that Nate has a recurring comment about breakfast being weak. What was the original basis of the joke? Was there a weightlifting challenge I missed?
No, I think
I don't
it's
know about
just
being weak in
observation.
Yeah. Tommy, I don't know if your eyes work, but just having fun. Just having fun.
I carry this podcast every week, so
Oh,
there you go.
What'd you
I
do?
love it.
Would you do a weightlifting video? Put it all, you're like, I'm bodybuilding Bates here.
yeah, that was another.
I mean, should we do a bench press competition next? We already did the 40.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think takes a bench press competition?
Probably.
Yeah,
I,
I'm
don't
pre-
know.
I'm-
I think I could bench. I've benched 200 before.
Okay,
Let's
that's
do
great.
it. I'm in.
I think I did some on my back when I did it too. I think my right shoulder hurts, and I think I did something to it because one day I did it when my little streak of working out was going on.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun week.
I don't know if there's original basis of the joke being you being weak. That's just fun. It's fun,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
You think you're a strong guy?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think
Yeah.
I'd win it easily.
We did a grip strength thing this weekend.
Yeah,
Eric,
said he told us that your grip strength is a great indicator for overall health. I don't know if that's true or not.
mhm.
We
I
didn't-
think so.
We didn't look into the science at all, but now
I
we're
would
going to
think so,
see.
though.
Now we're going to see what our grip strength
so
is.
yeah,
So did you get your results?
yep.
Yeah,
I was 110. So for my age and stuff, I was just normal. He was
Okay.
strong,
I was low end of strong,
low end of
which
strong.
is not a. Which,
I don't know if it would be an indicator of health to me. I
I was
think it would be
gonna
an indicator of overall strength.
I think they're saying they use it for like if you're sick or if you don't have a good grip strength, then you're it's like you're depleted.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a strong, because I was like, look, most people the strongest grip strengths will be construction workers that smoke cigarettes all day. These guys are going to be,
Yeah.
but being strong is good. They tell you lift weights the older you get, become stronger. Chris Jackson. I recently ran my first Boston Marathon, and I could not have done it without the podcast. The 2-hour episodes were perfect for my long training runs of 14 to 22 miles, and laughing at y'all helped me stay positive on those harder runs. Also, after seeing all of you run the 40, I'm curious what time y'all think each of you could run the marathon. We saw a marathon in Green Bay.
Really?
Yeah, they were doing the marathon in Green Bay. Everybody made it. We were just taking a lap, walking around. We saw the finish line, and everybody was at like the 6 hour and 45-minute mark. We'd probably been, I don't know what is 4 is like a.
That's great.
Yeah, that's like the best ever. So,
Well, the winners are
Yeah.
usually 2 something.
Yeah,
2 something.
I think a really good average runner would be 4 something. And
I'll try to say, did he say when he finished his?
mm-mm.
Yeah, I would hope under 6 then.
I just wouldn't finish.
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't run a marathon.
Yeah.
I would say
And
that.
that's where the joke from week came from.
Yeah.
He just
I couldn't do it
He just
either.
delivered it himself. It wasn't me. It was
How
Well,
long's a
strength
marathon?
and cardio are different.
26.2 miles.
Yeah, no, I would not. No, I just wouldn't do it. I feel like I could do pretty well in the 40.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dusty and I are the only two being realistic here. If you guys,
I would walk it. You know,
I think I could finish
I
it.
could walk it. It'd be
well, you can't walk it under 6 hours.
no. I don't think I can do it that fast.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying I could finish it if I walked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying
I've
one
run,
day you
8
could
miles.
make it
I
26
think
miles.
the longest I've run 8 miles before a show.
Look, there aren't going to be many people at the finish line when I get there, but
Not
I'll
even
get
the
there.
celebration anymore.
No,
we were the ones that were coming across. It was just us clapping for them. Everybody was kind of gone.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of already wrapped. The day's been wrapped up.
That's got to
Yeah.
be something, though. You finally make it you're like, I did it. And then by the time you get there, nobody's there. You just see the last car pulling away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They got their marathon time on the back.
Yeah.
You watch it in the distance.
Yeah. They did it though. Good for you, Chris. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Jonathan Williams. I was wondering if Nate thinks his career would be in the same place as he is now without moving back to Nashville. Where would you think his career would be if he had not moved back to Nashville and stayed in New York City or Los Angeles? New York's, I don't think so. But you go where you're supposed to go. I feel like there's a plan, and you kind of end up just you're doing what you got to do. I knew when I lived in New York City, that move was the best move I did because it was from if you started feeling comfortable, it's time to make a change. So that was the best comedically, just to like shake it up. And you don't have to shake it up by a move, just shake it up by something. And so that was the best for that. And then I just really started going on the road, and the Los Angeles one was just like, yeah, I'm not good at auditions. I'm only going to be this, and I knew I wanted to, if I'm going to do a movie or a TV show, I was like, I'm going to have to be the creator of this because like I talked about improv recently, I knew it's going to, if my hands are not on it and cannot be involved, then it's going to be something that I am going to be uncomfortable maybe being a part of. So I just kind of was like, well, I mean, so I just started going on the road and moved back to Nashville. So I don't think it would. Yeah. I mean, the stuff I talk about, I like better because I'm down here. For me, I did what you had to do. I think I fortunately, Chicago, New York, LA, home was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great with, we talked about it this weekend, him in Nashville, you moving to Nashville. That was like big things for that. It's like,
yeah,
you're in a scene now that like was not what it was now. Now it is something. And
I think Aaron helped change the scene.
Something. Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he did?
Let's not dig into it. But
Yeah.
I feel like there was just a ton of guys who didn't take it serious, who were just hobbyists and just wanted to be dirty and make their friends laugh. And Aaron was serious about it. He was super funny and he encouraged others. And it kind of shifted, like it's okay to take this serious and be a professional.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
There you go. I agree with that.
I thought you were going to go, he made people comfortable with mediocrity or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
No, I did that.
No, never.
But then when, like you said, when Dusty moved to Nashville,
it's having guys around
Yeah.
that are doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's everything.
That's everything.
And that's all y'all for me. So
Katie Jacobo. That's the last name that you're like, I didn't expect that.
It's like one too many O's
Yeah.
in here.
Jacobo.
I bet it's Jacobo. Then you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Could be Jacobo.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Jacobo seems like it needs a K in there.
I'd want a Jacobo, though.
Yeah.
Are you the Jacobo family? Jacobo's a pretty good name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one's that could go a few different ways. The guy asking about good names for girls made me realize that all of the Nateland daughters have what my friends call old lady names. I named two of my girls, Cora and Stella, and that is when I was informed those were old lady names. Luckily, that seems to be a trend, and I personally love the names. Daisy, Eleanor, and Harper are beautiful names as well. I can't wait to see the newest Nateland baby. Yeah, I don't think Harper's an old lady name.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either. And I like an old lady name because I feel like, names got too wild. And we're scaling it back.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I don't feel like Harper's an old lady name, but I don't feel like it's wild.
I think of Harper Lee. I think of the author, which I know you have a joke about that, but that I do think of that still. But I'd rather prefer the name Ethel over like Snow or something.
Yeah.
One of these crazy modern names.
Would you let the folks come up with the name for your daughter?
No.
Like a poll or something?
No.
Okay.
Probably take it. We could do a poll though.
We could do a poll.
He was about to trash it. He was like,
could,
"Yeah, we could do a poll."
I think I did a poll for my son once I had narrowed some names down. I don't think I accepted the overall end, but I went with what I wanted to go with.
You didn't even go with what you wanted. You went with what your wife wanted to go with.
Well, I like his name, but yeah, I mean, I like the name Duke, but we had named our son Daisy, and I didn't want everybody to think I'm naming my kid after the Dukes of Hazzard or the Shorts.
I know. And it's tough because your look looks like that's what you would do.
I know.
If you looked not like you could do it.
Yeah.
But,
and I liked Hank too, but I think that I don't think she liked Hank.
And Jesse?
Much. Jesse we liked.
Yeah.
We decided against Jesse. But
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, let us know if you can get a poll going.
I will do.
Let's get a poll going.
Bobby Gockel. As a 61-year-old single woman, I especially love that Dusty and I have almost exactly the same hobbies.
All right, Bobby.
I also have a surplus rock pile on my property that I am dreaming up plans for, but need some dudes to help lift them. I'd even welcome Brian.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
Where do you live, Bobby?
She made a weak joke.
Yeah.
Even Bobby gets it.
Where's Bobby live? I mean, I'm into
Bobby, I think if you can't do it, I think you and Brian have the same strength. That goes
the same grip.
I would like y'all. Yeah, I think if you and Bobby fought, it'd be a barn burner.
It would.
What kind of rocks does she have? I wonder.
I don't know if we had enough time to get into it with the comments, but I'm sure you can reach out to her.
Yeah. Well, I'm reaching out because, I mean, I like that. I like a rock pile that you got some plans for.
Yeah.
You know? Sounds like she got really big rocks, though.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them to be that big.
What's a good type of rock? I can't even name a rock.
How do you sound in that? Why do you mean it sounds like she has because she says surplus rock pile.
But she needs people to help lift them, so it makes me think they're really big rocks. Because I got some limestone, and they're about like this.
Yeah,
where you can still pick them up.
Yeah, but even if it's pebbles, you're not, you need help carrying them.
Yeah.
Well, you
You're
lift
not doing one at a time.
Well, I am.
I think she's commenting because we said we would help you go do it. And
Yeah.
so she's like, I need some dudes to help.
Okay.
So I think you're reading into this rock thing. I think she has probably what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Limestone
and a dream.
I don't know if it's limestone, but I bet it's what you think a rock pile. I don't think you're going to show up and it's going to be like, is that 14-foot rock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Black volcanic rock.
Yeah.
That'd be cool though, huh?
Shawshank reference.
Stephen Dillon. I got to be honest. I watched early and didn't feel the vibe because I didn't really know anyone but Nate. And once Dusty came on, our guest appearance, I watched. Now I love the gang in toto.
All right,
That's
Steven.
nice.
Thank you, Steven.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dusty, look at that.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Pulled one in. This is not the dump Dusty guy here.
This is
That guy's still holding in though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old strong.
Yeah. He's like first one to comment.
He's branching out too.
Yeah.
He's got like an alert set on his phone when the episode drops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want people to know.
Even when I'm on other episodes, I'm the guest. He's like, dump that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Tom Papa's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nathan Stanfield. I've been listening to the podcast for a long time. I'm a big fan of Dusty.
All right, Nathan.
While I don't agree with his take on most things, there's no denying the man has great taste in music. I've been listening to his Spotify playlist ever since he mentioned it. Well done, Dusty.
All right, I appreciate that. I mean, I just got to get you on board with some of these other things that you don't agree with. But
you got your own. You got another playlist you'd like him to be a part
I
of.
do. And if he opens his mind, he'd get into that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dusty Slay Country Music Radio is a very good playlist.
Stanfield sounds like last name. That name, Nathan Stanfield, sounds like a name that he'd be like, all right, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
You know. So what are you people just can see your name on a
Well, I got my own playlist that I started.
You can make public playlists on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And this one is let's see, this one's called
and you keep adding to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fluid. You can take
It's
songs
called
away from it.
Dusty Slay's Country Radio. Right now I have almost 1,200 saves.
That's awesome.
So
So
people are
1,200
listening.
people have gone to that and been like, all right, I'll make this a playlist I can access.
Yeah. It's a hot playlist.
Wonder what, yeah. If I did it, I mean, it would be, people would be,
What would your playlist
I mean,
be?
it just would, be so sporadic and just doesn't, wouldn't make sense. and then it'd be 3 songs that I listen to over and over again. Next Thing You Know by Jordan Davis. That's what I'm on. I've been listening to that for a while.
Yeah.
People love the
I
song
like
you come up to at your shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pick a good, when I can pick a good song for when it needs to be right. Austin Adams. I have no idea what the song talks about, but
Feeling Good.
What's the song
That's
called?
Sunday
Next thing-
Best.
Sunday's Best is the new one.
Okay.
Then when we just taped the new special, and then
Who sings Sunday's Best?
Sunday's Best?
Surfaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so that's the plan for this special to be. That's the song I've been walking out to. Felt the vibe, But we've come out to a bunch of different songs, But yeah, I don't really know what that song's about, But it's fun.
Sometimes that's the best. Because once you actually learn what a song's about, you're like, no, I can't listen to it.
Yeah, I just don't take songs in like that, so
Yeah.
it doesn't. Austin Adams. I have it on good authority that a red straw is Burger King and a white straw with a red and yellow stripe is McDonald's. He's right. That's my
That
fault.
is true. I mean, that's
Burger King. That's my
rookie
fault.
mistake on your part.
It really was.
I think maybe I was the one that said McDonald's.
No, I think
remember.
I did.
I remember
I did.
thinking Nate might be wrong in the moment,
Yeah.
but it's his podcast, so you just let him. Let him have stuff like that.
Let the people.
I
Yeah.
remember the comments, and to me, that being a Burger King cup is worse,
Mhm.
Then a
right?
McDonald's.
Because you were saying, get the cup out of the way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
worse that it's a Burger
Yes.
King cup.
Yeah.
I don't like McDonald's, but it is. I like Burger King less.
I like Burger King, but I like them all.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think they all do. They dabble and they all do great things.
Yeah.
A McDonald's cup is like probably a little more trendy
Yeah.
than Burger King. Burger King, it's a real like meat and potatoes. Like you're like, this is what I do, dude. I go. You're not like, oh yeah, swing by McDonald's. Nate likes McDonald's. Sometimes people go eat McDonald's after the show because they're like, Nate talks about McDonald's, and you're like, yeah, it's a fun. Burger King is. I've had Burger King. You're there for a reason. You know what I mean?
What
You
do
show
you
up.
what do you like that Burger King does? What's your go
Well,
to?
I get 2 Whopper Juniors, no onion, no tomato.
Okay.
And I don't really like their fries. I could eat their onion rings. I don't even like
Yeah.
onions, but I could eat their
Yeah.
onion rings. But I will sometimes get the fries, and then every time I'm like, yeah, these are not good
You
fries.
remember the chicken fries at Burger King?
Yeah.
Those are a big deal.
They had a great long fried chicken sandwich, too. They still have it.
Yes.
They have a really good long chicken sandwich. The Whopper is unreal. I just get the Whopper Junior. A full size Whopper is Sonic kind of tries to do that. Sonic's got
a big hamburger.
yeah, Sonic's. I like Sonic's too, but Whoppers. I mean, they're standing on the Whopper and they stand proud.
Why do you do the Whopper Junior and then get 2 of them?
Because I'm not a reasonable
Instead of
human
one
being,
Whopper? Is that what you're
Instead
saying?
of 1 Whopper is what I mean.
because I'm an addict that just
Feels
for
good
some
to have
reason
2
gets-
things.
2
has
juniors is still
things.
more than 1 Whopper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's because I have a problem, Dusty.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder.
Yeah.
I mean,
What made you sleep under the bridge last night? Well,
I have some problems.
I had some problems. I don't know what made me sleep. I would love to not get any Whoppers.
Burger King had a heyday on 2nd Avenue in Opelika. We used to have we still have a Burger King there, but it used to be a real hot spot. It was a hangout. We used to go eat there a lot, and it was also a hangout.
Mm-hmm.
The Burger King.
Yeah,
But now it
said
feels
hang
like
out a lot, but
I think I said it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think, but you forgot where you were going. Then you go, we used to have a hangout there. We'd go there and hang out, and all of us, it was a hangout.
We'd hang out.
And it was
Well, I
like-
wanted you to know we ate there, but we also we would hang out.
Yeah.
We'd hang out there.
yeah,
Ironically, I think Representative Sarah Crawford's previous comment was about how her mom would take a
That's
Chick-fil-A
right.
cup
That's
into
right.
McDonald's to fill up, right?
Yes.
because she
Yes.
liked that.
She liked McDonald's drink better, but I think she didn't want the pressure of everyone like, you eat McDonald's?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, people. Yeah, Chick-fil-A's a little more. I mean, just in I get it. The
So, there you
hierarchy of it it's weird.
Yeah.
I got to respect that because I do judge the McDonald's
Yes.
thing. But I like
Yeah.
that.
What about an Arby's cup? What do you think about that?
I mean,
judging
you're a
it.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say indifferent.
Yeah, I think when you see an Arby's cup, someone always goes, where's Arby's at?
Yeah.
Like no one's confused.
Yeah.
Everybody. Taco Bell, I think, is like people are
Taco
like
Bell, you were like, they were probably drunk. when
I'm
this
like,
happened,
yeah, have you
right?
had that cup since last night?
That's Pepsi.
Yeah, well, Taco Bell, I think it's but I think it could be during the day. It's it's the healthier people say. You're like, oh, I just got a little thing there, the healthier. Yeah,
I don't think people make that connection, man.
I think they do.
I don't think people go the Taco Bell cup. That person's probably on a health kick.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
if
I
they
think it's
that.
but I think if you go to, I think if you go to fast food, they would tell you to go to Taco Bell.
Who tells you that?
Huh?
You can go to Arby's and
The
get
guy I talk to.
The guy he hangs out with.
Yeah.
The guy.
They hang out at the Taco
The
Bell.
guy that goes, instead of one Whopper, let's get you 2 Whopper Juniors. And I go, this guy's on to it. He goes, we'll be down to $1.92 in 3 years. He goes, come on, stick with me. Ashley Maxwell. When I was a little girl, I had the privilege of going with my parents to the Masters. My dad greatly resembled Tom Watson, and people would stop him in droves and ask him for his autograph and picture. After many attempts to explain he was not him, he finally found it easier to just take pictures and sign his name, shake hands, and move on. I thought my dad was famous for years as a child when we were there. Great memories.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's so funny because you're like, yeah, would I just be walking around? Why would he just be walking around?
Maybe
Why would
deep
Tom
down he
Watson
likes
be
it.
walking around?
Yeah, there's a chance he's playing it.
Yeah.
He probably was.
Yeah, I guess that was after Tom Watson retired and people just thought he was there watching.
But he didn't. It depends on how old this woman
But I
is.
mean-
but Tom Watson played forever,
Yeah,
right?
he played till. I mean, he almost won the British Open when he was 60,
I remember that.
59 or 60.
Yeah.
So I still have hope.
Oh yeah, dude.
For
I
golf?
mean, but you're
Yeah.
you're up against it. You better get on it.
How's your progress with it?
Not good.
Yeah.
Brian, let me ask you this. This is a debate we were having
All right.
this weekend.
Okay.
Me and you up against each other in golf, but I can throw the ball if I want to.
You were having a debate about us?
Yeah. Well, first it was
So it's
about,
like Graham wasn't the only one getting
first
roasted.
it was about me and other golfers, but then we had to lower the quality of golfers
Right.
to make this a fair fight. No offense.
So they brought me in.
I'm not going to beat Nate throwing if he's hitting.
Yeah.
I can't throw the ball 300 yards.
Mhm.
But I feel like if I'm throwing versus you hitting, I've got a decent shot, I think.
It's a great question because yours is always going to be straight.
That's right. I'm not
Down
going to
the
shank it in the woods throwing it.
I'm
Yeah,
going
but you might have trouble getting some fairway.
I don't think. I mean, I can
that's
throw
true.
it at a fairway easier than.
I know, but I mean, some
So just to
fairways,
reach 'em.
even depends on what tees you're playing from. It
Mhm.
might be 100
Let's say we're
something yards.
playing from the ladies' tees.
Oh, well, then I think you'd win.
How far
Yeah.
can you throw a golf ball?
I tried it this
Tried it.
weekend, about 120 yards if I really chunk
What?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, from a 3-story building.
Well, okay.
Yeah, he's not mentioning that.
Now, y'all's
Okay.
weekend was wilder than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
didn't
did go.
mention that.
Yeah, we did go to that. We did. I mean, it was like a camp
Yeah.
Where was that
this
at?
weekend. It was in where did we go?
Sioux Falls. I think.
Sioux.
No. I
was
don't know. Rockford. I don't know.
Might have been Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
And because that was the Canaries night.
Mhm.
We went and did that, and then we got back. It was such a nice night. Let's took the scooters out, and so they had a thing called Great Shot.
It's like
Top Golf.
Yeah.
But they were super nice in Sioux Falls, and we went up there, and they were kind of close to closing anyway. So they had the third floor. They just kind of opened the third floor for us. We got a bunch of crazy food and stuff, and we had like 4 hitting bays, so
It was
everybody was
awesome.
really getting to hit as much as they
Mhm.
want, and it was super fun.
But I threw one about 120 yards from up there. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing from the ground,
100 yards.
100 yards.
That's a good
You know?
question because,
You're gonna get tired though.
well,
Well, Brian's going to get tired.
I know, but he has at least the power of like a bat. Like even his weak shot is going to go 80 minimum. Like your
That's a good
full on
point.
shot always has to go at least 100 yards.
Right.
And I mean that's and you're going to start getting down into the 40 and 50 yard stuff, and it's going to
Mhm.
be tough.
I'm going to hit some in the woods, though. It's going to take
We
me
could go
4
do
or
it.
5
We
shots
could go
to get
do
out.
it and play one hole
Yeah.
at play a couple holes just to see if there's even the math is right.
Right.
But I mean, if he gets himself in trouble, you're not going to lose your ball. But I think the score is going to come down to being like 8 versus 6 or 7.
And once we're on the green, does he get to roll his ball?
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to. Yeah. Yeah, you get to roll it.
Talking about get like a pool,
No.
pool cue.
No, you get to sit there and like kind of toss it, but you can let it roll.
I would think on the green you should have to putt
with a club.
Yeah,
but to get up there, I can throw it.
That's what I would think.
No, I think with the hand, you got to do hands all the way.
Just all hands.
It's all hands, all club.
Okay, all right.
And we go try this tonight if you want to go try.
And
we can run over to Legends and go play a couple holes tonight.
But you have to wear a gorilla suit. If you're only with your hands, you have to look like an animal.
Yeah.
You have to have a monkey, banana in the other hand.
Caleb Hill. I've been in the pest control business for 6 years, and it sounds like my fellow pest man, Dusty, has some woodpecker problems. The female carpenter bee lays its bee larva in the hole that it bores into the wood, and then the woodpeckers do all the real damage when they destroy the wood looking for the bee larva. Fun fact, at least you're adding some fun into this comment, Caleb. Fun fact, the bees don't actually eat the wood. They're just chewing it up and excavating it out like a little cave.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Caleb. I didn't think they were eating the wood, but because you can always see the little wood shavings that have come out of the thing. But I wonder, because this is a bench, right? And then underneath is where all the damage has been done. So I would think if it were the house, I could see the woodpecker thing. I'm interested in it, though. But I just don't see the woodpecker hanging under the bench and
upside down.
Yeah, upside down and getting into it. I feel like it's more like a raccoon or a possum. Yeah. But I'm not shutting this.
Numerous people suggested it was a woodpecker.
I'm not shutting him down.
Ooh,
but I want them to but none of them have seen it.
Have you put a camera out there?
No. I have a camera, but I forgot my memory card.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Get a little trail cam set up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what's going on out there.
Let's see what's happening.
Me too.
Woodpecker, raccoon.
Out there is
a homeless guy.
Helix mattress.
Yeah, that's true.
Stick it right under.
I do have a Helix mattress out there. Matter of fact.
All right.
Well, let me tell you about Helix Sleep. We love our Helix Sleep mattress and the pillows. We do love the pillows. We've been using those.
Pillows are amazing.
They're great. Helix mattress is great. You take a sleep quiz and gets matched with the perfect mattress for you. We have one, and ours is up every comic sub. You have one that you sleep on every night.
It's really great.
And it's it's great. It's easy. It's it's the fun one that you get to open it up. It all comes out of the package. 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. Helix is so confident with how their mattresses are. They also include a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15 year warranty. That's a lot of nights. If you can't, you don't need 100 nights figured out. So that's a solid. That's how confident it is. It's completely risk free. Helix Sleep, well over 12,500 5-star reviews on top of that. Helix supports military, first responders, teachers, and students by giving them a special discount on the site. Helix is offering up to 30% of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate. That is helixsleep.com/Nate. This is their best offer yet, and it will not last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Boom.
All right. Well, this week, we've done an episode on insects where we debated ants versus humans.
Mm-hmm.
Thought this week, with the cicadas out doing great, we could talk about some flying insects.
Let's get into it.
All right.
I saw this picture from
man.
Tennessee Department of Transportation. The cicadas are out there. If you're listening, there's about, was that 20 on that guy's back?
Yeah.
I was getting lit up this morning walking to my car.
Yeah.
They come up and just land on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. Big red eyes. They're terrifying.
I noticed on the flight yesterday when we landed, the jet bridge is just smushed.
Really?
Cicadas everywhere.
Wow.
Oh, they're getting in planes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They're just,
probably have to keep them out.
yeah. So let's get into a little cicada talk.
Let's
Yeah,
get into
I
it.
used to collect those shells when I was a kid. I loved, you just find it randomly just on trees.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
And then, I would I had a whole thing going on, but I
Where would you?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Home
just-
Depot's the problem.
Yeah.
Where would you put them? Like a shoebox?
Well, I used to, for a while, I would get the little army men or whatever, and I would paint them with like a Q-tip, and I paint them, so they looked more realistic.
Mhm.
So I had this thing where I set up on one side was a bunch of like medieval kind of army men, like they were about to go into battle. And on the other side, I had a bunch of cicada shells glued to the board and they were also painted like they were, about to go to war.
Yeah, War of the
Great
Worlds.
imagination.
Yeah. I was into it.
Yeah.
So, but now, it's like there's an insane amount of them. It would take a long time for me to find enough to do that. But at my house right now, there is so many shells.
And you walk outside, and the noise is just constant right now. Dude.
I love the noise. I do.
You
love
do?
the
You
noise.
like it?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd like it if they weren't around, and you could just hear them.
Are they everywhere in the country?
Now we have a map that shows it's probably about 15 states. So these are called periodical cicadas. There's two main broods, the 17-year cicada and the 13-year cicadas. We have the 13-year.
So they come every 13 years.
Yeah, the brood we have does.
They're called a brood.
Is that how you say it? BROOD?
what
Yeah,
you
I'd never
call it?
heard that word
Yeah.
before.
Um,
Just like
Like a vampire brood.
It feels like a guy that's just he's trying this word out on this thing.
yeah.
He's like the brood, and everybody just goes, "Is it a brood?" And he goes, "I guess so."
Sure.
He's gonna see if it takes off.
Yeah.
breed, I would have thought. But
I like brood.
That's interesting because I noticed for Tennessee, we're one of the few blue ones. So we're a little bit different brood there.
We have a lot of different ones.
We do, but for Nashville, like we're one of the few.
we've got brood 20 or 19.
Okay.
Brood 19 XIX comes out in 2024.
XIX. Do you know all the Roman numerals?
I can't. I'm not fluent in it, but I can sit down and look at it and figure out. XIX
Is 10.
X is 10,
21.
and then IX is 1 before 10, so 19.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how they do it?
Mm-hmm.
So what's V?
V is 5.
5.
So,
So 1 plus, so it goes 3. Oh, so if the one's in front of it.
it's less
less
than
than.
right before it.
Oh, I see.
So IV is 1
Yeah.
before 5, so that's 4.
Yeah.
I didn't see the years there beside it. So not all these are out right now.
But we've got right now in 2024, we've got brood 13 and brood 19.
Okay.
So that 2025 brood XIV is 10. That's 14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look at that.
Dude,
Look
I
at
just think I learned Roman
This
numerals.
kind of
Yeah.
sounds like they're like, yeah, they come out every year, but we just say they're different broods.
Yeah.
They're coming out every year.
So the bottom
Yeah.
one is 23.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about that? Now you know the
Look at
Super
that.
Bowls.
Now I know the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
L is 50.
And that's they're using XIVL.
Yeah. And I think there's other ones for larger numbers. I think M and
But no one ever makes it. that
No,
high.
we
Did
never-
they even make it that high?
no, that's why they fell. Rome
Yeah.
fell.
What year would what would their thing have been?
What do you mean?
Like would they have been like we fell in XXLVVLII?
Mhm.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, did they just keep going? You think that's why they fell? Because someone just goes, "Hey, we're just gonna use like one number,"
yeah, just use the numbers.
and then they're like, "No, you got to do it. It only works this way." And then everybody's like, "I don't know, man. It's writing that on a check." Just being like, it's as long as the $15.
Yeah.
You're like $15. XXXXXIILLLVV. It's like, oh my god! And the guy, you have 2 checks. First started, you put that thing where it says keeps going, an arrow
Uh-huh.
pointing to the back.
Yeah.
The date line and the amount line are the same length on these checks.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the opposite of how we write checks. You're looking forward to writing the word 15.
yeah.
It's because you're about to, be like, oh my gosh, what do they have to? I mean,
But what if the amount is even in Roman numerals too?
what is like 1949 or like what would that be in Roman numerals? That would be
MINT.
MCMXLIX.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. So, can you imagine? Like, I mean, it would be. Someone goes, "When's your birthday?" You're like, "Oh, God." They goes, "Yeah." Someone just write your birthday down. You're like, "Yeah." I don't think you didn't have it memorized. I mean, you would be, that it looks like they all look like the code you got to put in to prove you're not a robot or something.
Yeah.
Like that's what all these,
It's your Wi-Fi password.
Yeah,
It's like CAPTCHA.
Yeah, it's like CAPTCHA is all, and you're like, what are you talking about? He goes, I was born in 1949, and you're like, just say that. Why were you when were you born? MCMXLIX. Do they even say 1949? Do you think is that what they
I
do?
don't know how they say it out loud.
Out loud? Do they go 1949? Or are they all just like, my goodness, can you believe it's MCMXLI? He goes, feels like yesterday was 2 V's. He goes, what? Yeah, that's Finn, 19. What does Finn mean?
Oh.
Is that a mistype?
Yeah, I mistyped, so it thinks I'm asking a different language.
Oh.
There you go.
What if it's a totally different answer?
So
yeah.
M must mean 1,000. C means 100.
And how's that an AI generated answer? Like
Well,
that's
they're all AI generated answers.
I know, but now I've never seen that. You could still Google stuff and no one was saying anything was an AI generated answer.
Well, now if
AI is forcing itself into it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Because there's never been, you're like, I Googled it. That's how we've been doing it. And they just gave me the answer. And now AI is like, well, I did it. And you're like, yeah, but you already Googled that.
We already had this answer.
If you're Google,
yeah,
I would be upset if I was Google.
Well, if you ask a question now in these search engines, it'll crawl through the results and then try to answer the question as you worded it with AI, which is kind of nice.
How's that better than?
Then you don't have to sift through it to find the exact answer that you're looking for.
I think that's happened just the last week or two.
I think for a while, maybe. I mean, this is
every week when I Google whatever we're talking about, I feel like last week was the first time where it'll pop up an AI generated answer at the top. You can still sift through the other stuff.
Yeah.
Are we going to be an AI with looking up topics?
What do you mean?
What if you use AI to help you with topics?
I mean, it's kind of what it's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like coming up with the topics?
Like coming up with topics.
Maybe ask AI, these are the topics we've done.
Yes.
Generate some other topics in the same vein.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what it says.
Yeah. That could be a good tool.
And then we can just have them do the episode.
And then
we don't have to show up
AI,
and do this.
you're right out of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if you can't get AI to do your job.
Yeah,
and then
it's going to happen eventually anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You're always upset about how much work you have to do.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Just see if
eventually.
AI can do it and then show us how you did that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the first job.
Think it's
loss of
eliminated?
AI. We would put a newsletter out where it says Brian Bates let go. It's your picture, and then a robot. He goes, "Here's a new person he hired, robot." And you go, "This guy, he's strong. First of all,
He's so strong.
so strong,
Bot Bates.
so strong.
That's what they call him?
Yeah.
Bot
He still has
Bot
nicknames?
Bates. He
Yeah.
still has nicknames.
We're still going to beat up on him, but you know,
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
But he won't cry.
So how long do these?
What?
He doesn't have emotion.
He doesn't have emotions.
I'm not crying or complaining about how much work I do.
Nah, we know. We know. We're having a good time. Remember that. Don't forget, we're having a good time.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
having a good time.
I've seen Dusty. You remember you did that on stage? You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
don't forget.
Oh, yeah. I say
If,
that still.
if the show starts going badly, you're like, don't forget, we're having a good time.
I know.
You're
Just a
mainly
good
saying it to
time.
yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
So how long do these stick around? Is this going to be all year? These cicadas just,
They never leave.
or is
No.
it just a summer thing?
13 years they'll be
About
here.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Starts in around mid-May, goes through roughly the end of June.
Oh, so we're in the early stages.
We're just getting
of it.
going. So for them to come out, the ground soil has to be 64 degrees.
And
Okay.
and it only happens every certain years.
For the breed we have, brood
Brood.
13.
But if could it come out? Are they ever like year 7? They're like, what?
There
like,
are some mistakes.
They get like they're just asleep, and someone's like, get up. And you're like, what? Yeah, no, we got like 6 years left.
They're grub worms, right? And as the larva, because I've dug them up and been like, oh, sorry. And then I put them back down there and dig them, put some dirt back over them.
Oh.
So I've probably woken up.
What was that?
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Those guys was like, and now you moved him to a different fan. He's like laying next to. He goes, he thought it's his wife, and he's like, "Well, who are you?"
Yeah, they're like, "I'm
like,
a
well, I got
7-year
dug
brood."
up.
Mhm.
I don't know where my wife's at. Family's over there. That's all I was thinking with insects. Like if you
The way you emphasize it.
yeah. I always think I'm going down. All right. I always think I'm gonna be lower. My seat.
Well, speaking of that, I slept through my alarm on the bus this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah. I got
a lot of heat for it.
a lot of heat for it.
Yeah. I set an alarm for 8:30 with big ambitions to do
Especially
something.
last week, he said Aaron likes to get up and do things. He likes to get up and get going.
Yeah, he would. He would get up. Aaron's always like, anything we were going to do, Aaron was like, yep, let's go. Like, which is great. That's what you want on the road. And was down for whatever. But he said,
I set an alarm for 8:30 and I snoozed it for about an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Not knowing, I don't remember doing this.
Oh.
But it goes off and then I turn it off and go back to sleep. And then it goes off 9 minutes later. I did that for an hour.
What'd you miss at 9:30?
nothing. Absolutely
There's no
nothing.
reason to be up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was just waking everybody up every 9
Oh,
minutes.
I see.
So Foon and Graham were just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. It was bad. It was
Yeah.
a rookie mistake. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Wake up. Yeah, we're all
Like Jimmy Fallon did that, so it's all right.
he did it. It was it was a fun joke. Well,
it's different when Jimmy Fallon does it
Yeah.
than when Aaron Weber does it.
yeah.
Much different
We made
tone.
fun of Jimmy Fallon for doing it.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fallon, he made fun of us for sleeping late. So it was a good back and forth. But I was thinking when you get an insect, this joke might have been done, I don't know. But it's like if you get an ant or something, and then when you move it and you put it in another place, it's like, well, I don't even know where it's like grabbing someone out of California and just put them in New York.
Right.
And then you just go, all right.
What's the bit you have, Dusty, about a fly going in the car?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I even forget the joke now. I did it so many times, but the fly gets in the car.
It's like you're driving and then you see a
Time
fly in the
travel
car.
for a fly, yeah, and then the fly, and then all of a sudden you let the fly out, and then the fly's like, "Where am I at?"
It's like going from you say 2 states, I think.
Like going into the grocery store and coming out in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
what
like, "Dang,
happened?
What happened while I was in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be, because you would think some of these insects would be, they have to be like, they're like, I was kind of in the middle of something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, especially ants. I mean, their whole thing, I think, is they smell the trail. That's why if there's a trail, you can just kind of run your finger across it, and then they are lost for a bit because they smell. So if you take an ant and move it way off, I don't know how it finds its way back.
But let me ask you a dumb question, because
All
I'm
right.
not afraid to ask dumb questions
All
on
right.
this podcast. The cicadas that are out right now, the one that landed on me this morning, that cicada was in the ground for 17 years.
13. That was a
13?
dumb question.
That exact one.
Yeah.
So that's a 13-year-old bug.
Yeah, they're one of the longest living insects because they
Yeah,
live.
wait, it was not born 13 years ago. It's been, how long do they live?
So they hibernate or they get in the ground as adults and then just chill there for 13 years.
No.
Are they doing stuff underground? What's going on? Let's back up a bit
All right.
here.
They eat sap and stuff from the trees,
Yep.
up from the roots.
So they're living life under the ground.
Yeah.
And just when it gets cool enough, they go, let's check out the world.
They think they know the years. They don't know for sure. Scientists don't know for sure how they know it's 13 years, 17 years, but they think something with the sap. They have an internal clock about how much sap comes down.
Okay.
And they think they wait every 13 or 17 years because any predator that would eat them has not lived probably that long. So they're all learning about it for the first time ever. You know what I mean? The predators.
Whoa. Okay.
So they're not going to be like, hey, we're ready for you this time because they all died off too.
Right, because no birds live in 13
Yeah.
years, or a rat, or
That's
anything.
interesting.
A
But does-
bird doesn't live 13 years.
Maybe some
I
birds,
think
but
a
not.
bird's lucky to get 6 months.
You really a bird in the wild? you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
how long can a bird live?
Yeah, I
A
don't know.
pigeon
I see.
in New York City.
Well, that's
yeah,
different.
maybe a year. How long can they possibly live?
I mean, I think they
You
can
see
have
dead
good
pigeons
lives.
all over the place. Good lives.
Well, I mean, New York, they're eating regular food.
Do you think they're live?
well, they probably have diabetes.
Yeah.
You know.
You think pigeons live in 13 years though? 13's so long.
We'll never
I
know.
feel like animals live longer than we.
But insects are. I mean, like animals like that, smaller animals, they don't live.
Maybe
in
the
wild.
cicadas.
How long does a pigeon live? What's the
Let's
like?
get the AI generated
Maybe
answer.
the cicadas' bigger
6
purpose
years.
6 years in
is
the wild.
underground.
Crows live
you say?
10 to 15 years.
So crows are like, I mean, they just kind of
but
they learned about it, but then they probably forgot, and then they're like, God, dude, I think I saw these once.
because they're old by that time.
Yeah, then they're like, nah, I remember. They go, I kind of remember. He goes, this sound familiar to you? This noise? And he goes, man, it's like talking to someone that was born in 1908.
Yeah.
What was it like? She's like, I kind of remember a horse.
Yeah,
We had a horse.
maybe we did.
Yeah.
But
I think
6
my
years.
grandma had a horse, and we did for a second, but I think cars were kind of around a little bit.
So the cicadas only hit these pigeons every other generation.
Hmm. Or any predator, pretty much.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe their larger purpose is underground, right? So they just have to come out to mate.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if you could interview a cicada, it'd be probably get hard to get him to talk about when he comes out because he'd be like, I would like to talk about what we do all day, every day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's underground.
Yeah.
You just want to focus on the.
And you're just
Flashes.
focused on the and it'd be, it's like, and you're like, but what about when you
Yeah.
come out? They go, that's point. It doesn't even matter.
He's like, when I come out, I got something specific I need to do. I don't
Yeah.
have time for interviews.
Yeah.
You come see me underground.
Yeah. I've been underground for 13 years. Come on down.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you all day long.
Yeah.
When I come out, that's my time to be out.
Yeah. I got none but time underground.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Aaron, you want to tell us about Butcher Box?
Oh man, I'd
Oh,
love
I think
to.
I think I'm gonna.
Oh,
tell
I'm
you
sorry,
about it.
But
Dusty. You want to tell us about
I
Butcher
would
Box?
like to, but I'm going to let Dusty take this one.
I saw a comment that I shuffle my papers too much, and I'm
Mhm.
sorry about that, guys.
Mhm.
I restack them.
No, dump Dusty.
But I'll tell you though, if you want to get incredible deals on premium cuts from Butcher Box, deals this good. I started it wrong, and I added a word at the beginning. Get incredible deals on premium cuts from Butcher Box. Deals this good are hard to come by at the grocery store, and that is true. I'm always making sure my food is as clean as it can get. I can easily find high-quality meat and seafood I can trust with Butcher Box. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork-raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. It's all humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones. I love having fewer trips to the grocery store. I always have meat in the freezer ready to go. They also offer curated tips and recipes based on whatever box you choose. It's delivered right to your door and always free shipping. Why wait? Start eating better quality now with Butcher Box. Sign up at butcherbox.com/Nate and get our special deal. Butcher Box is offering our listeners a special deal plus $20 off your first order. Join today. Use my link, butcherbox.com/Nate, and use code NATE. Receive this unique deal today.
wow,
Yeah.
I love that's your vamping on the ad. You go, and that is true. And that's true.
Well, listen.
That's some improv, and that is true.
Deals this good are hard to come by at the grocery store.
And that is
And
true.
that is true.
Yeah.
So, when
You
it's
gotta
true,
let 'em
when it's
know.
true, you say
Why
it.
does that map use Roman numerals?
Because I think that's just how you name stuff.
But
Oh.
why would they not do regular numbers? That's not a Roman. I don't think Romans dealt with cicadas.
Well, why do we do the Super Bowl like that?
Well, that's because it's cute. But for this,
You don't think it's cute to call these broods
Maybe
Roman
this
numerals?
guy is really into
Yeah.
cicadas, and he's like, "Yeah, brood."
yeah, I don't know. But he's
salmon."
using 17. He's using regular numbers everywhere.
But this is
Maybe it looks better.
if you're listening, we're looking at a graphic from the USDA Forest Service.
Oh,
So this is a government issued graph.
USDA.
Yeah.
Well, USDA, isn't that the beef?
It's the dairy.
The dairy thing.
USDA, I think does. I thought they did beef too. They could be
The
in on the
US
butcher box.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture.
And so is that not the food USDA? Is that not the food thing?
I think maybe they're in cahoots.
You think they do both?
The USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. Yeah,
Wow.
Well,
They
maybe
do
they're-
regular food and
they aim to meet the needs of commercial farming and livestock food production, promote agricultural trade. Yeah, so it's
And they
all.
do
And
it's
we're
the same
into
group.
cicadas.
and we do some cicada stuff.
yeah.
Wow.
13 to 17
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
why zero in on something specific when you can?
I wonder why we only have them basically over here and they don't have them anywhere else.
Yeah, the North America is the only place in the world that has the periodic.
Well, but not even the
Cicadas.
whole North America has it. I mean, it
Yeah, I
doesn't.
don't know.
I mean, Texas or Oklahoma. It looks like is the farthest it goes left, and it's not even to the. I mean,
Yeah,
I love how you just say west, left.
yeah. Well, everybody knows west is left.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
look, there's a little brood over here in Massachusetts, kind of on its own. It's like they drifted off sometime.
Yeah,
There's a little
They
pink
got a
one
little
there,
bit
too.
farther. I bet they don't know about the other ones, and if they did, they would probably come out a little bit earlier.
Now in Illinois, I think they get a little bit of both, and they do occasionally crossbreed.
Mm.
Oh
Is there,
no!
So is it
any
just
s-
13 and 17 years?
Yeah,
What happens if they come out at the wrong time? Did you ever say that? I might have cut you off.
it did say that occasionally they'll come out either like after 9 years or after the 17 years. 13 years one sometimes come out after 9 years. The 17-year ones sometimes come out after 21 years. So it's always 4 years difference when they come out. They don't know why.
Now, if it's all temperature, if it's based on the ground temperature, is global warming or whatever, is that changing when these things come out? Are they worried they're going to be coming out more often now?
They said they were.
Nah,
You're not worried about it,
Nah.
Dustin?
I wouldn't worry about
Yeah.
that.
Because now they're just out.
yeah.
Yeah. You're saying they're just out and about now all year round. Because if it was 64 degrees, they would be out all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to get the big picture of how this
I
works.
think,
All right.
I kind of think God knows they're annoying and he's like, I'll keep it.
yeah.
You know, there's he's like, I want to make this annoying thing enjoyable because it's only here every so often.
Small
Yeah.
doses of it.
A small dose of it. And if it was just out all day, you'd be like, where are we at? Where do we live? What is going on?
Yeah, you couldn't even
know?
take a phone call outside
Oh,
yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car washes probably are doing well right now.
Yeah, I bet so.
Wow.
Is there any
That's a
like
good point.
cicada religion? Did any old ancient tribes like worship the cicada?
Well, they were
Oh,
only in Tennessee. So,
Yeah, so like
I
Native
mean,
American
no.
tribes have like a cicada thing, or
I don't know. I
because
didn't hear.
sometimes with the ancient
yeah,
civilizations,
you know who would have looked that up? AI.
yeah,
AI would have looked that up.
if,
AI Bates.
if,
Bot Bates would have
yeah,
had that. on
like
deck.
if they only come up once in a while, you would think that these ancient tribes would be like something mystical about it.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bet they did.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm surprised you don't think it's
I bet
mystical right now.
I bet the you of native tribes did.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I would believe
yeah.
that.
They're like, hey, this
The
thing only
you-
comes
like
around
there's one
13 years. There's got to be
Yeah.
something significant.
So
to
I think,
the 13.
I think every Native American group had a you.
Do you think
Yeah.
he was
That-
short haired?
No, I think it looks like him, and he's just like he goes. I think these cicadas are, and they're like, I know, but we're already doing like all this other stuff, and he's like, yeah, but something's not right.
Yeah, I'm like, at least pay
He goes,
attention.
but the
guys."
government, and they're like, there is no government, and he's like, there's a government.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Yeah,
there's a government.
yeah, and they'll be showing up soon
Yeah,
at the
Yeah.
shore, and
Yeah.
we won't be ready for
and
it.
go, trust me. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
bad news.
Yeah, I'm like, something's coming, guys, and they're like, you're always saying that, and
Yeah.
then what happens? The Spanish show up.
Yeah. Yep. Should have listened.
I said, I told you, and they're like, this guy's fine.
He goes, the cicada boy?
Yeah,
But you wouldn't be listening to the chief.
no,
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't trust the chief.
yeah,
No,
you never
no,
can
no.
trust the
He's
chief.
corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So these cicadas,
Yeah.
they're in the ground for 13 or 17 years.
Yep.
They come out.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all die above ground, or did they go back, or do some stay underground for the next cycle?
I don't think so. I think they all come out. Only the males make the sounds. That's their mating call that we're hearing.
Okay.
They says 90 to 100 decibels.
Oh, do they come out of the ground to breed?
Yeah, they come out to breed. That's their purpose.
Okay.
It's just to hook up.
Okay. And then the female goes back into the ground?
She lays eggs in the tree.
That's right. She lays eggs in the tree, and then several weeks after they're all died, the babies hatch, and then they're very small, white, and a couple millimeters long, and then they float off the tree, sit like a snowflake, down to the ground, and then they burrow back into the earth.
Oh my gosh.
And then come out 13 or 17 years later.
How long do they live? Like one of them lives.
A cicada?
Yeah.
About 13 or 17 years.
But how
so
long?
they only go out once, and then that's it.
Yeah, and they're only out for a little bit of time. So people
Yeah.
think they have a very short lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
But they're alive and eating and everything underground for a really long time.
they have a life down there.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel sorry for the ones who don't hook up. Like
Yeah.
the
You
Yeah,
guys
wait
like,
imagine.
that's my whole
13 years.
purpose. We all look the same. Why can't we
You
just?
got to chirp a little louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Or
Well,
not
they
get
say the-
stepped on.
The female does get attracted to the ones that are the loudest.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Or you think if you were a cicada, you came out at 13 years and then also been like trying to come out with the 17 years.
Let's give it another shot.
Yeah. You start just making your way over to the 17-year group, and you're like, what are y'all doing? And they're like, wait a second, are you 13 years? He goes, no, I've been 17 years the whole time. You're coming out pretty regularly. You're the one cicada that
Just
comes
try
out.
to
Just try.
hook up. Yeah.
Do these things serve a purpose? Are they important to the ecosystem in any way, or could we be
I think
done
so.
with them?
They do help the ecosystem. Great question, Aaron.
Thanks.
A study from 2005 links cicada.
Who's doing this study?
No one.
USDA.
They did it.
No, I'm
Apparently,
about to tell
it
you.
was
The
done in
USDA.
They done in 2005, and then they go, I think that's good. We don't need to look at it. Nothing's
Yeah,
changed.
we've not studied it up until this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. When they come out, there's a bump in a number of species, included red-headed woodpeckers and common grackles, whatever that is.
A grackle's like a blackbird with like a gray head.
Didn't a grackle write into the comments
Maybe not
this
a gray
week?
head.
Bobby Gackle.
They kind of look like
Oh,
Yeah.
they almost
look
look
at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Gackle family.
Yep.
It's just
Grackles are like blackbirds. They come rolling in packs.
So they
So-
come out
so
and provide food for
provide
other species.
Food for animals, and then bird population increases.
But are these birds not eating the other 13 years? It's like, why do we need?
Well, it gives it a bump, and it helps caterpillars because birds lay off caterpillars because they're eating cicadas.
Ah.
gives the caterpillars a break.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Caterpillars get a rare reprieve.
So I mean, how long? So if you're a caterpillar, like how long is caterpillars live? Because there might be
Well,
Caterpillar loves that sound of
Yeah.
the cicada. Then
lifespan of caterpillar 2 to 4 weeks.
Before they transform into a pupa or something else.
And then what is it? No, a butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Then they go to butterfly. Why don't they
Yeah.
just say butterfly?
Or chrysalis.
Yeah, and you want to go to that person, go, you want to say butterfly, don't you? But you're not saying butterfly.
yeah,
And he
butterfly
goes,
or a moth.
well, it's not a science. You go, but you want to, what's a moth? An old caterpillar?
I think a moth is like a nighttime butterfly.
Oh.
I mean, butterflies only live 2 to 4 weeks.
So
same ones.
I'm saying, like,
Well,
you're,
how lucky are we get to live this long, huh?
oh, it's-
Everything else is dying off in a
I mean,
couple
and
days.
Lucky or unfortunate.
Yeah.
However you want to see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's spin it the other way.
It's, but I'm saying, so there's a certain group of caterpillars that are like a generation that they just think, well, the earth is great. I had no problems.
Right.
Everything was, 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
If they come up to a 6-week thing with cicadas, they're like, yeah, it's loud, but it's, I didn't get eaten, wasn't threatened to being
Yeah,
eaten.
Never felt in danger.
And then probably telling the old, like one where there's an overlap, tells the older generation, he goes, what are you complaining? He goes, you don't know anything. He goes, we had all day long just birds coming at us.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't
Birds?
even, and they go, I don't even believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they write in there, every history book is just, every 4 weeks their history book changes.
Yeah.
And it goes from like, it's, the birds are the worst. And then one like, let the birds live. They ain't doing. I've never seen them do anything. Then the next chapter, it's a nightmare. You know,
There was a ecologist at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She
Okay.
and her collaborators filled the forest in Maryland with fake caterpillars made of clay, and then they measured how many of them had signs of bird strikes. And during the cicada emergence, portions of caterpillars with strikes fell from about 30% in a typical year to below 10% during the emergence.
what was it?
Okay.
30%?
30% to 10%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's significant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's 20% more that's living.
So this is a good time right now for caterpillars.
Yeah. Caterpillars are living it up
Good
right
for
now.
them.
Caterpillars are a little too cocky
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
They're probably not even trying to become butterflies as quick as they should.
That's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we got a little extra time, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Let's
great.
just hang out, eat the leaves. We don't really need to fly around.
Let's hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys a little bit about Game Time.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
What's the last concert you went to?
Mm.
The last
Mm.
concert I went to, I'm going to see Ben Rector later this month.
All right.
Oh.
Where's he at?
He's at the Nashville Symphony, Schermerhorn.
Ben's the wonderful. I golfed with Ben.
Yeah.
One of the nicest dudes. Very funny guy. Too.
Did he talk about me?
Yeah, does he know?
Does he
Aaron
come to your
messaged
show? No. He made sure. He goes, none of your guys are going to be there, right?
The guy who messages me all the time. Well, you could use Game Time. It
Yep.
makes getting tickets for concerts and events faster and easier, even if you don't buy tickets right away. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Game Time offers killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and the lowest price guarantee. It takes the guesswork out of buying concert tickets. You can browse through the Game Time app, which I have, and it's just not just music concerts. There's sports. There's comedy. When's the last comedy show you paid for tickets? Do
I
you
saw
remember?
Lavelle Crawford at Zany's.
How long ago was that?
It was probably 6 or 7 years ago. Last time I paid for a ticket.
hmm Mine was Nate at the Ryman, and I ended up being on that show. But
Oh, why'd you buy a ticket?
because I wanted to come to your show.
He didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, you surprised us on the podcast that you were going to book us to open for you.
Oh, yeah,
He had
yeah.
already bought tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? But we would have just given you tickets.
I didn't want to assume because you were sold out, and so I wanted to see it. I would have Seinfeld's coming.
Bot Bates wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Bud Bates would have just hit him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have AI'd a ticket probably.
Yeah. I've never made you buy a ticket.
I know,
like
but
that.
I
That was
wasn't.
very nice.
Seinfeld's here at the end of this month, and I was going to buy tickets for that, but I'm going to be on the road, so that's a good problem to have.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Seinfeld's somebody I would buy tickets.
You're
to see.
with me,
I am.
right?
Yep.
New Orleans.
Yep. Game Time offers ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code NATE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NATE for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Boom.
All right, so these cicadas, unfortunately, they also have a urination problem.
Mm.
Like they're incontinent?
There
What do you
go.
mean a urination
Yeah.
problem?
Bladder infection.
What are they in their 50s?
They can't get through the night. these
Yeah.
No, it's the
cicadas.
opposite. They have a very strong stream and they pee from trees.
No, is that true?
Yeah, I think so. Look it up.
Well, I presume you've already done that.
Yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
it's
Well, he's not writing lies down there.
Yeah. It's AI for you. I don't
well,
do that.
I'm saying I just never.
Yes.
I don't think I've been
pees
peed
are-
on by a cicada before.
Well, it's going to
Oh.
happen.
Yeah,
It's going to
you
happen
have,
soon.
though.
Is it noticeable? Like if you get peed on, you'll feel it.
I think so.
And
I
then
think,
they
yeah.
laugh a little bit. That's actually what the sound is.
Is
the,
it-
the chirping is just laughter?
Yeah.
I'm picturing it. Is it like a dog's stream? I'm picturing a hard stream.
Yeah.
like you're like, I mean, it's, you feel it.
I think it's like a
it's-
water gun.
Like, is it
Yeah.
sprinkling out here?
Yeah.
Do they urinate backwards too?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, we can find a video of. Here's a video of a cicada peeing. I don't know if I want to pull this up, but
Well,
Yeah. I don't, where? It's okay.
all right. So
I'm into it though. If you do get it,
Yeah.
send that to Dusty. Now they do have cicada killer wasp also come out.
no.
Yep. So
They only come out every.
oh, I didn't see it.
Wait. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's. I didn't know he could hold that much liquid in his body.
It's a decent. It's a decent pee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that guy.
If you're at home listening, if you're
Be
over
grateful.
50, it looks like what happens at the end. I think that's a good description.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When you
It's,
think you're done, but
yeah.
you're not.
This guy's still going.
Yeah.
This guy's still
Oh,
going.
I thought you were
if
watching
you're
it
not
on
over
loop.
50. I'm not trying to
No.
make fun of 50-year-olds. It's like, if you're,
That's 13 years
I'll
of
be honest
sap.
with you, if you're 45 years old, it just looks like what you do
Yeah.
at the bathroom.
I've heard
Same amount
Yeah.
and same many times.
Wow. I mean, dang.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a new thing to just be thinking about all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the hotter it gets, the louder they are. They can only fly when it's a certain temperature outside.
Oh.
It's got to be around.
What about these wasps?
Oh, cicada killer wasp. They come out also under the ground, and they emerge in June, and they paralyze the cicadas with their venomous sting, and then they take them to their offspring, and that's how they feed their.
And so they only come out once a year or every 13 years?
I think so. I think they
What are
only
the
come out
odds of that?
like
Pretty good, actually, because everything kind of works out.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
evolution, right? That's
Whoa, yeah.
Look at these things.
Yeah.
What?
So
Those
they're
are the
coming out
wasps.
June this year. They're coming
I
out.
think so.
And they kind of had the same wings.
So they, what do they? I mean, they obviously don't kill you if they sting you, right? But what?
I picture they walk out like, "Juice, juice, juice."
You were like, oh, more cicadas.
Like it's a march.
Yeah.
And they come out. And then it's like a Star Wars door opens and they're like, "Bew, bew, 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 bew," and then they all shoot out.
Oh, it's got a cicada there too, huh?
Yeah, this one's just
That's tough.
talk
That's
about
tough.
a buzz kill. That's a good headline. You
Yeah.
got to give respect when you
That
get
is.
a good headline like that.
Yeah, talk about a buzz kill. Friends of the Mississippi River. is
Shout
what
out
it's-
to that editor.
Yeah, that is solid. That's solid right there.
That might be a good place to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all cicadas, but
Yeah, it's all
good.
cicadas.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll just put cicadas on
Yeah,
there.
maybe
Yeah.
we'll call it a flying insect.
Yeah.
We
It
did
was-
talk about the killer wasp there.
that was just a comment.
But
That
as
was
it
a
relates
comment.
to
It's-
cicadas.
We're just doing
Yeah.
cicadas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mainly all cicadas.
It was.
We had some good cicada stuff in there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I definitely
Take
like
that,
them.
AI.
I like them less than I did when we started.
Cicadas?
I didn't know they're up there just peeing on
I
us.
read
Yeah.
on Next Door, but it was like someone, because people were talking about like wanting to kill the cicadas, and they were, someone's like, you can't be killing them. They're like, it's like they do so much, whatever, that kind of thing. You get in like a back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone's frustrated, they're like, I want to kill these cicadas. You're like, what do you think they're going to do? Go run through the
Yeah.
neighborhood and kill all the? It's just
Yeah.
someone talking.
What's the real frustration?
Yeah, it's like just understand.
I don't need them.
Yeah, just go inside though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd like to be outside. It's good weather right now.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
so
they're out.
That's why they're
You
out.
can't blame them for wanting to
Yeah.
hang out right now.
I wonder if it rains. Do they? What happens then?
I think they stopped chirping.
Oh,
Do they?
it's supposed to rain this weekend.
Oh, good. They'll shut them up for a
Nashville.
little bit.
Well, you don't hear them
So-
at night, do you?
I think, don't they? Yeah, I hear. I thought it's just constant. It's like those. It's like those things at the World Cup. You remember those?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think when the temperature gets a certain level, they shut up. So
Oh,
maybe it
okay.
has to be later at night when it gets cooler.
Okay.
Oh, like during so if it's like a hot summer night, it's like wild.
It could be.
I wonder if you're out in the woods, like at your place, is it just deafening?
I haven't been out there, but my mom says in Chattanooga, she said it is really loud. She
Yeah.
was at my house and she's like, it's much louder in Chattanooga.
Your mom told me you could eat them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she said you can fry them up and eat them.
I don't know where.
Do you hang out and talk? Do you hang out and talk to his mom?
Yeah, where'd you talk to his mom?
At the birthday party when the ball pit, the terrible ball pit. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know who's doing that. I don't know where she's getting that info out. You could fry up anything and eat it,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know where she's getting that at. I don't think my mom's eating cicadas.
Okay.
She could
She
be,
said
though.
you could.
Yeah, sure. You could eat these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she ate at the party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. Yeah. I mean, maybe she did.
Mhm.
Maybe that's what her parents were doing.
Did
They
you
s-
wonder when you said dinner served and she walked out the front door and everybody else sat down?
Yeah. Just put them in a little bowl of rice.
Yeah.
It seems like you remember the movie. What was the movie with the teenage kind of not like the teenage vampires, but like Kiefer Sutherland,
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. You remember that? And there was like the scene where they were eating the Chinese takeout,
Peter Pan.
and then the Chinese takeout like turned into like worms
Yeah.
and maggots, and
Mhm.
that's what I think about when I think about eating cicadas. You remember that movie?
Yeah. I'd never seen it, but
You never seen it?
I've heard of it. I thought it was about Peter Pan.
He kind of
The Lost Boys.
like your Barry Sanders kind of.
I know.
Yeah, that was a.
never
That
seen
was, I haven't heard that
You
in a
never
while.
seen
But he goes, "You never seen Little Boys?"
It came out. Somebody else
came
said it on
out.
a comment on another thing that I said. But yeah,
I felt it.
yeah,
You don't know Little Boys.
yeah. Well, it's in there. It's in there.
there.
But yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't seen it though, especially
Yeah.
you. I mean, that was kind of our era of movie.
I wasn't allowed to watch anything.
Oh, okay.
That's a little bit older though. That,
I was raised the way you're probably raising your kids.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Except my dad is a magician, so
Yeah.
that besides that, it's
Yeah,
Harry
yeah,
Potter.
spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, they liked Harry Potter. I don't watch Harry Potter. I never
Yeah.
watched it, but
Yeah,
I was
that's
not
good.
into that kind of movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I missed everything. Yeah. All right.
I get it. I mean, I support it. I support
Yeah.
what your parents do, except for you being a magician.
My
But,
dad being
yeah.
a magician.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You told him that?
Well, we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Your dad's very religious though, so I'm in. He says sleight of hand is what he says. I'm not
Yeah.
doing magic. I'm just
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
illusionist.
You don't believe him, though, do you?
what's that?
You don't. This has got to be a little magic.
He's maybe got some powers.
All right. Where you at?
This Sunday, I'm at Stand Up Live in Huntsville.
Nice.
It's Memorial Day weekend, so you don't have to go to work the next day.
Come out.
Come see me on Sunday at Stand Up Live. Bring your church group. Bring who, I just need people. Come on out.
June 7th and 8th. This is Aaron Weber speaking right now. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona at Desert Ridge Improv. It used to be called CB Live, but they've rebranded it. Desert Ridge Improv. And then at the weekend after that, June 13th through 15th, I'm in the Bay Area, Sunnyvale, California, Rooster T. Feathers
Ooh, I've done
Great
that.
Comedy Club.
I've done that.
So I'm going to be out there in California. Come check me out.
Rooster Teeth is a great club.
What a great name, too.
We got a guy. There's a guy I met that still comes to show, Ed Horst, and he came. I want to say the first time he came to Rooster Teeth. I went there straight from taping my Comedy Central special, my hour-long special. I went to Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
Rooster Teeth, and I opened for Angela at Rooster Teeth.
I'm pumped.
Rooster Teeth is great.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I reached out to them and they said, this is true. They said, let's see how Aaron does first.
Did they really?
Yeah. So
Ticket sales was?
I think all of the above. So,
Sorry, buddy. I don't
Yeah.
think you're getting booked.
we shall see.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll pick up.
Yeah.
I'm doing this thing. I'm in Huntsville, Tennessee, not Alabama, Tennessee,
Yeah.
called the Brimstone Recreation thing.
Recreation thing.
I was trying to find some details on it. So
Yeah.
but
Hey, you
it's-
pull mine. Pull
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
but it's like a whole thing. Like there's music. They're doing ATVs, and there's a whole thing. I'm there on Friday. So Huntsville, Tennessee, Brimstone Recreation, the Brimstone Experience, where the journey is your reward. That's
wow.
something that it
That's
says here.
nice.
So I'll be doing that on Friday.
Yeah.
Next week, I'll be doing, Cape Girardeau, St. Louis, and Royal Oak. We added 2 shows in Royal Oak.
Nice.
And
That's
because
awesome.
the first sold out, but the second show, not selling as good as I'd hoped. So get some tickets
Get
to
some
that show.
tickets. That Royal Oak's great. Is
Yeah.
it the theater?
Yeah.
The music
Yeah,
hall
that place
there?
is
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool, man.
So
Yeah.
the first show sold out, and then we added the second, but it's been a little slower. But
It's
someone
all right.
told me there's a ton of events going on in Detroit that weekend. So I'm very happy with the one sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'd like to,
Yeah. Get
fill
the
that
other one
second
going.
one up. Yeah.
Get it going.
Yeah.
I will be in May 30th, New Orleans, Smoothie King Center, 31st, Memphis at the FedEx Forum, then June 1st, Biloxi, then the 2nd, Huntsville, Alabama. When's your show? Oh, it's before this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, man, that'd been great. We did that because it just worked out
Mm-hmm.
with Birmingham.
Right.
If you want tickets to Aaron at Birmingham and Stardome, we did Birmingham.
I plugged a show on stage in Birmingham and
All
it
right.
sold. I mean, a lot of people.
All
bought
right.
tickets. I was like,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
So yeah, then I got Grand Rapids, and then this will be it's on and on. But it'll be the end of the we're rounding up towards the end of the Be Funny tour. Yeah, it'll be
Got
it goes.
busy year coming up. Man.
The bulk of the Be Funny tour stops at the end of June, but then I have very sporadic casino, a fair, some stuff like that. To September, and but it won't be as much. It'll be in Fargo later in the year, but the big bulk of the touring will be done at the end of this month. Or at the end of June. Basically, cicadas. When the cicadas are gone, I will also go under like the cicadas.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. We love you. I hope you have a great. Is it Memorial Week?
Yeah.
Have a great Memorial Week.
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend, and spend it with your family. It's awesome. All right. Bye.
Good.
Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.